So all I'm going to say is welcome. It's grand to see so many people here tonight. The first on our program is members of the Southern Victoria Pipe Band. across the land and the old rustic bridge. built a clay cottage which is still standing. In 1757, he married Agnes Brown. There were 7 children to this marriage, 4 sons and 3 daughters. Robert, their first child, was born on January the 25th, 1759, and was to become one of Scotland's most revered sons. History tells that the mother was a cheerful person who used to sing the old Scottish ballads to her children. And Betty Davidson, an old woman who lived with the family, helped the poetical talent of young Robert with her many stories and songs about historical and legendary lore. Burns' father was a God-fearing man who gave his children all the education he could. He did not neglect their religious upbringing either. His immortal memory is depicted for all time in the poem, The Cotter's Saturday Night, where his son movingly describes how the saint, the father, and the husband praise kneeling down to heaven's eternal King. Robert Burns was reading Shakespeare, Homer, and the Bible at a very early age. He also began writing poetry at an early age and continued throughout his lifetime. Some of his better-known poems are To a Mouse, in which we find the oft-repeated expression, "The best laid plans of mice and men gang after glee." Another familiar quotation comes from To a Mouse. To a louse, "Oh, would some power the gifted give us to see ourselves as others see us?" All Lang Syne is one of his most popular lyrics. Most of his poems were expressed in his native dialect, full of very expressive words and phrases. He described Scotland as no other poet ever has. In Burns' 25th year, his father died. Robert and his brother Gilbert had to farm to support the family, but he continued to write poetry. He had been taught by his father to be a God-fearing person. The Christian belief is well expressed in poetry. Where with intention I have erred, no other plea I have. But thou art good, and goodness still delighteth to forgive. In 1786 he wrote, "Then gently scan your brother man, still gentler sister woman. Though they may gang a canon wrong, to step aside is human." Coming from a young man with little formal education, this poem, with its balanced blending of kindness, wit, and wisdom, has few equals in any language. Though Burns had written many poems and published several books, he received very little pay, but he had preserved the melodies, moods, and memories that had belonged to the people of Scotland for centuries. It took Robert Burns to make people aware of their worth. Due to ill health, the poet began to feel prematurely ill. In a single stanza, he wrote his song, "The wan moon is setting beyond the dark wave, and time is setting for me." He died on July 21st, 1796, aged 37 years. The quaint 2-room clay cottage where he was born is the oldest structure in the town. In the nearby garden is a monument to Burns and a number of statues of the characters that he had written about. The greater part of his poems were not published until after his death. His poems are enjoyed to this time, and tonight we honor his memory. They've been honoring his memory for many years since the Scottish people came here, and I'd like to read this to you. "If the hands of time could turn backward through the mist of many a year, and let us hear again the voices of the folks who once lived here, how we'd strain to hear the music as the clock hands backward turn, the laughter, songs, and recitations of an old-time Bobby Burns. There would be an open greeting, whether the night be bright or drear, from our late beloved parson, like Scotch folks gathered here. There would be stories and recitations, perhaps a voice you'd recognize, or a character in a dialogue in a comical disguise. All the old familiar pieces, sung so sweetly, by whom then? There have been so many changes in the last 70. After all the recitations came the chorus of Auld Lang Syne, ringing voices, friendly hand clasps, a happy ending to a happy time. But the clock cannot turn backward, and the voice once gone does not return. Only in memory live the old folks who were here and honored Burns." And the next on the program is "My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean" by Marjorie LaFrance. Hargrove. Recitation, The Highlanders.
When I see the tallmen march, and hear the bagpipes play, I know that they are feeling proud to wear the kilt today. There was a time in Scotland they did not have a clan or worship God in the way they knew, so they had to make a stand. When I see the kilt, swaying side to side, with every marching step I feel the pride that a wee small bit of Scotland runs in my blood today. So here's cheers for bonny Scotland as you march along the way.
Now we have next the Highland Dance, The Village Maid by Catherine Walker and Anne Walker. LaFrance to do a vocal solo, Charlie It's My Darling, and a piano solo, Tower Clock.
about that?
Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young chevalier. 'Twas on a Monday morning, where early in the year, when Charlie came to our tent, the young chevalier. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young chevalier. As he came marching up the street, the peppers out and clear, and all the folks came running out to meet the chevalier. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young chevalier.
Now, Holly Barker, a recitation entitled Burns Night.
The drifts may blow and the winds may whistle, but the halls are gay and bright, where the loyal sons of Scotland gather to honor their baird tonight. They'll toast his name and the land that bore him, they'll lift their glasses high, and they'll sing of Burns and his Highland Mary till all the seas gang dry. The timorous mouse and the mountain daisy return from the long ago. The banks of Doom they will bloom so bonny, and the Afton gently flow. They'll thrill once more to Tam O'Shanter on his grey mare riding by, and they'll sing of Burns and his Highland Mary till all the seas gang dry. They'll feast tonight on the fair of Scotland, they'll pipe the haggis in. They'll leave their tatties in their jackets, the oat cakes crisp and thin. Whatever the land on earth they gather, as the hours go winging by, they'll sing of Burns and his Highland Mary till all the seas gang dry.
Next we have Scottish Chorale by the Mortons and LaFrance, Mel McIntyre, and the cottage where Burns was born. While they're getting ready, I have something to tell you. I thought the art of rubbering on the telephone was gone. Yesterday, I was talking on the telephone and a masculine voice said, "Oh, well, all right, I'll hang up." I wonder if he's here tonight. If he is guilty. At any rate, it made me think of a little story from long ago. A lady told me that many, many years ago, there was a sick spell here in the colony. Different ones were sick. And it seemed as though most of them had headaches and a sore neck. And of course, in those days, you used liniment to rub your neck, or you used maybe a little drop of brandy. Well, one little girl was playing with another little girl, and the first little girl who had come to play, her mother had been sick. And there was a gentleman came into the second house while the girls were playing, and a little girl who didn't miss anything heard the lady say, "Yes, Miss," I won't say the name, "was very sick too. Her neck was really sore. She had an awful headache. What did she take for it?" "Oh, just rubbing," and took some brandy. So the first little girl went home and said, "Mama, you know what she said? She said, all you do is rub her and drink brandy."
This was supposed to be the Mortons and LaFrance, but the LaFrance is home in bed still with the flu, and I'm ready to put an ad in the paper for a new husband.
This morning in front of the sea.
the Sword Dance by Louise Walker. Next we have a vocal duet by Kate and Marjorie LaFrance, The Spinning Song. Solo by Laurel Green, the Bluebells of Scotland.
Oh, where is your Highland laddie gone? Oh, where is your Highland laddie gone? He's gone to fight the foe for King George up on the throne. And it's so in my heart, I wish him safe at home. Oh, where did your Highland laddie dwell? Oh, where did your Highland laddie dwell? He dwelt in merry Scotland at the sign of the Bluebell, and it's so in my heart, I love my laddie well.
Next we have the National Dance of Scotland, Flora MacDonald's Fancy by Laura Brennan and Catherine Lockhart. proud spirit.
see you all and to recognize most of your faces. I've seen you at least once on a Sunday in the last year. So it's a pleasure to see you on a Saturday night. I was glad to hear from Millie that Robbie Burns had some affection for the church. What else I know about Robbie Burns made me doubt that, but he's at least wrote a poem or two for the church, and I appreciate that. There are characters associated with churches that some of you will know, and I'm sure Robbie Burns ran into a few of these in his career. We have your organist and your custodian and other characters like that. But I want to sing about another character that's probably familiar to some of you and certainly familiar to people in the colony, and that's the preacher's kid. Who's the holy horror of the Sunday school? Who knows the funky version to the golden rule? Now he's playing hockey down the hall with a broom, hiding all the hymnals in the ladies' room. Preacher's kid, he's a holy terror. Preacher's kid, Lord, what a noise. Preacher's kid, what across the fair, he's gotta try a little harder to be one of the boys. When his daddy's preaching, who's the one who snores? Who plugs up all the sinks and floods the bathroom floors? Got the longest hair and comes in dirty jeans. Puts the Sunday offering in the Coke machine. Preacher's kid, he's a holy terror. Preacher's kid, Lord, what a noise. Preacher's kid, what across the fair, he's gotta try a little harder to be one of the boys. Have you heard his verses to the first Noel? You know he stole the clapper to the chapel bell. His hero is King Herod in the Christmas play. He'll probably be a preacher like his mama someday. Preacher's kid, he's a holy terror. Preacher's kid, Lord, what a noise. Preacher's kid, what across the fair, he's gotta try a little harder to be one of the boys. Riding through the chapel on his roller skates, putting peanut butter in the offering plate. He's undoing all the do-good and his dad ever did. Look at everybody, it's the preacher's kid. He's a holy terror. Preacher's kid, Lord, what a noise. Preacher's kid, what across the fair, he's gotta try a little harder to be one of the boys. Try a little harder to be one of the boys. Try a little harder to be one of the boys. That's 11:30 tomorrow morning in Upper Kent.
And now we have the Wednesday evening fiddlers. Before they start, come along up, I'd like to tell you that this year we have no little dialogue by the old ladies around here. The reason is there's been so much sickness. It's not that there hasn't been lots of things to tell you about, because there has been. Maybe one of the most interesting, I'm going to tell you just one thing. You know that the little store up at the corner, the gas pump was taken out, and it seems as though, from what I hear, that the lady at the store thought she'd bring in a few clothes to add to the income of the store, so she did. One of the local ladies went out and she tried on a pair of slacks. They were quite tight, but she was determined to put them on. She got them on. But lo and behold, when she went to take them off, that was another story. So there she was. Well, they were quite expensive. So the lady at the store said, "Call the fire department." Richard said, "Where's the fire?" She said, "There's no fire, but we'll need the what? Need the arms of death to get her up those pants."
medleys for you in Scottish tradition, starting off with a slow tune. Usually a slow air and then a strathspey and a few reels. And the Scottish fiddler, once it gets started at that, it's hard to stop. We'll try not to do that to you. The first one we're going to do is Wild Rose of the Mountain, Go to the Isle, with Scotland the Brave. Did I get that right? Good. That's the first step. Now, if we can play them, that's the next one. Try that again with a few new tunes, of course. The first two here, Terry and Bernice and The Little Boys Went for a Dragon, were written and played by a 13-year-old. And Richard Woods, you're probably familiar with him as a stepdancer, but he's also a very good fiddler. And I haven't seen him for about a year and a half, but I hear he's a good piano player now too. So anyway, he released these on a tape called Cutting the Bow in 1991. He was 13 years old. Of course, he's 15 or 16 now, all grown up. Okay, so it's Terry and Bernice, The Little Boys Went for a Dragon. Where do we go from there? Kaylee and Silver and Gold. Who's going to keep me up to date now? Here we go.
last couple of songs, I'd like to thank a few people. Aunt Millie for stepping in at the last minute and being the MC. My brother Dale was supposed to be here, and we had it last night, but the fates of January seem to be against us most years. We're going to sing Loch Lomond and Roman in the Gloaming. A lot of people know this. Feel free to sing right along if you'd like to. I'd like to thank the Wednesday Evening Fiddlers. What can you say? They sound beautiful. The Bath Highland Dancers, I remember when they started out and they were just little girls stumbling through the Highland Fling, and they really, really improved incredibly. And thanks to Laurel Green, her debut was tonight, the first time on the stage, and Sarah Parker did a lovely job. She's only 3, everybody has really missed that. It just seems like these young people nowadays, it's just a little bug and they're laid right out flat, you know. I'm not sure what's the trouble with them. Not a strong stock, I guess. Anyway, Aunt Ruby also said to tell you the David Hewitt song was much better than the play anyway. They laughed. We're going to sing Loch Lomond and Roman in the Gloaming, and would everybody help us for all like as well?
Bonnie, bonnie, so long.
drawing the curtain.